After 4 fully packed days in Paris, we woke up for our final morning in the French capital. The day was spent leisurely strolling along the Seine and waiting in line for a last-minute trip up the Eiffel Tower itself.
Chumps.
An almost perfect finale to our time abroad. At the summit, we gasped and pointed at the staggering view, reflecting on days past and monuments visited. And as the day drew to a close, we returned to Charles de Gaulle with no issues, before settling in for our evening flight back to England. And after a slight delay to our flight and some casual airport FIFA, we boarded the plane. Truly an excellent conclusion to our week in France, and nothing went wrong.
Flight log number 1. It's midnight. We've been told that the flight is cancelled until tomorrow at 9:30 because Paris airport has a curfew, which is fun. So we're spending another night in France because EasyJet is a great airline. They're really good at getting the flights gone in time.
And so the next 13 hours of fatigue and anguish began, and our journey in France continued for another day, soon to be known as the EasyJet disaster.
Just re-entered France and I'm racking up the stamps. I'm getting quite the collection now. We've been directed to collect our luggage that we checked in, but it hasn't arrived yet. I'm loving this night more and more by the second.
As the suitcases started to roll and the minutes continued to tick, the tiredness of the situation started to strengthen, resulting in slurred speech.
Bonjour François, mon ami. We ate here yesterday. That was quite nice before we knew our flight would be cancelled.
Back at the check-in desks, the queuing began. An infinite void of tired passengers appeared before us, all stuck in the same orange hell that is EasyJet compensation.
The line hasn't moved for the last 20 minutes and we are quite literally at the very back of the line. It's looking good. Our time waited in line may just pass the amount of time that we waited for the Eiffel Tower earlier, which was also quite fun, but at least there was a nice reward at the end.
Eventually we were shooed away by an attendant who gave us a golden ticket for a nearby hotel, so we proceeded back into the outside world.
Okay, new plan. Not new plan, we've got a hotel now, and we're going there. We're charging it back to EasyJet, so at least we've got something out of this, I guess.
Taxiing away into the darkness, we travelled north into unknown regions to the nearby hotel for nearly an hour, before arriving at a Best Western in the small town of Senlis.
Okay, so we made it to a hotel. We are several kilometers away from the airport, and we are fully in the countryside. The humidity is getting to my head. I'm so tired. It is a pretty nice hotel though, as demonstrated by this chap.
Twisting and turning in the night, my mind was haunted by visions of the terminal and the EasyJet CEO mocking me at every turn, until I woke up with a mission to escape France.
Back at the airport now. Finally gonna fly back home, maybe. But we were informed that our flight has been delayed once again by about 20 minutes. But that's, small beans compared to what we've been through. Back at the EasyJet check-in, where we lined up for, I think, about 2 hours last night. So a bit of PTSD coming in to play here. And just like that, 8 hours since we left the airport, we're back in the terminal, heading to B22 for our flight, which will hopefully actually happen this time. We've just done border control again, had my 6th stamp of this trip, and I'm so ready to go home. Okay, after a quick game of FIFA with a stranger from Manchester, we are boarding the flight for the second time. Hopefully this time it will actually leave the ground, like planes are meant to do, and we'll be back in the UK in a short time.
Finally, we returned from the country of croissants back to the homeland, and the nightmare was at last over. Though we'd beaten this insidious airline, the scars of our struggle remained, and the lessons learnt from this series of events would stick for a lifetime, probably. As the curtains drew to a close on this Paris trip, we promised ourselves that we'd never fly with EasyJet ever again. Unless the flights were cheap.
Moi quand j'étais plus jeune, encore plus jeune qu'aujourd'hui, je n'avais besoin de personne pour diriger ma vie.